Now at 10, a Rock County community gathers around a teenager fighting brain cancer. And while many rural hospitals are struggling, one local hospital says they're growing to meet demand. Plus, deadly severe weather is threatening millions of people in the South. We'll have the latest from Texas.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Hundreds of motorcycle riders from across the country met in Rock County today. As our Adam Duxter shares, they traveled hundreds of miles to honor a complete stranger. Adam?
Well, Amanda, many of us might think of a biker as a mean, tough type of individual. But when a Rock County mom put out a call for support, hundreds showed up to love a family when they needed it most.
With the rev of the engine, it was finally time for the moment Miranda Olson and her family have been waiting for.
I didn't really sleep much last night, just because kind of like the night before Christmas. You're excited, you're nervous.
Hundreds of bikers from across the country, all there to support someone they have never met.
I've had contacts Minnesota, Florida, Indiana.
That someone, Miranda's 19-year-old son, Zach. Zach has a rare type of brain cancer. It's incurable.
We were told to enjoy our time, and he's now on hospice, and probably the last couple weeks have really been the toughest.
Zach grew up loving motorcycles, and in March, his mom, Miranda, put out a request for Zach's last wish. He wanted to spend a day with as many as possible. Today is that day.
We sort of just said, yeah, we'll be involved. We'll go on the ride. We'll help out where needed. So, that's how we're here.
And riders from across the Midwest,
we came all the way from Chicago for you, man,
went more than the extra mile to grant Zach's wish.
It was roughly 400 miles.
Surprising him with gifts like a custom vest and surrounding him with love.
We're all brothers. You get outlaws, Hells Angels. We all have one thing in common. We want to support the community of cancer awareness.
And while he looks up to them,
all right, ready for a picture? Yeah.
They look up to him too.
I mean, that's a fighter right there. I don't know what I would do if I was in his position, if I would just give up.
And after months of sad tears,
Love you.
Today,
tears of happiness.
One last wish come true.
Overwhelming, but our hearts are full. We're happy. It's absolutely amazing.
And one rider I talked to today said despite their outward appearance, motorcycle drivers are just regular people with families that they care about too. And for Zach's family, after a difficult week, today, a day they won't soon forget.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Adam. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Dave Caulfield is out on the patio. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Amanda. We did have a little bit of sunshine today, but the clouds were pretty stubborn throughout much of this Saturday. Clouds are going to stick with us into Sunday, but they could be producing some snow showers, especially for us across southeastern Wisconsin. As a result of those clouds being stubborn, highs only made it into the low to mid 40s across much of southern Wisconsin. Janesville was close to 50 degrees, so at least that's some good news when temperatures should be in the mid-50s for this time of year. Right now we're in the mid-30s in Madison, upper 30s in Janesville, and near 32 the freezing mark in Platteville. Wind speeds, though, we did see a lot of improvement in that area. That is for sure compared to the last couple of days. Right now those winds out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam at cloudy skies. Your day planner for tomorrow will start off with the clouds and temperatures in the 30s. If you are heading closer to Milwaukee tomorrow, keep in mind we may have some snow showers to deal with, and some of those snow showers could make their way into the Madison area by the time we get to the afternoon and evening. We'll time that out, plus talk about possible accumulations from that snow in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. A severe weather system is threatening large parts of the South. It has already caused extensive devastation in East Texas, including the deaths of 2 children. CBS News' Hillary Lane has the latest.
Severe weather pummeled the Southwest on Saturday, hitting parts of East Texas especially hard.
Demolished this house, the next house, the next house.
The Angelina County Sheriff's Office confirmed 2 children, ages 8 and 3, were killed. The children were sitting in the backseat of a car when a tree fell on it.
There's a lot of brick homes that are flattened.
I've seen homes that have actually moved across county roads.
The April storms caused extensive damage and at least a dozen injuries. A suspected tornado pounded the small city of Franklin, about 125 miles south of Dallas.
The winds was knocking motorists off the road and into the ditches.
The winds also toppled houses and power lines and even turned this truck onto its side.
And it hit my house. All I could hear was just like a freight train coming through.
A large weather system making its way through the south is the culprit. In Louisiana, the storm system dumped heavy rain, causing flash flooding that left cars and trucks struggling to drive through submerged roads and highways. Forecasters say the system should shift to the Ohio Valley and southeast on Sunday. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
In anticipation of this storm, tee time for tomorrow's Masters golf tournament has been moved up to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because of heavy rain in the forecast for Augusta, Georgia. You can watch the Masters right here on WISC-TV. In Wisconsin, today marks the end of tornado and severe weather week. With tornado season officially upon us, many weather spotters gathered at Madison College for the Dark Skies Weather Seminar today. Spotters identify and report severe weather to the National Weather Service. Today they learned more about severe weather spotting, preparedness, and the role of emergency management teams when disaster strikes.
As much as we can provide forecasts and have some of the best weather observations in the world, it still comes down to you making a decision and being able to go, oh, I need to prepare for this upcoming tornado.
Our own Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti spoke at the seminar and helped guide attendees through some severe weather scenarios. Police in the Twin Cities are giving an update on their investigation into why a 5-year-old kid was thrown off the 3rd-floor balcony at the Mall of America. Bloomington Chief of Police Jeff Potts says formal charges will be filed on Monday against 24-year-old Emmanuel Deshawn Aranda. He was arrested in the mall's transit station after running away from the scene yesterday afternoon. He's been held on charges of attempted homicide. The 5-year-old is still alive and remains in critical condition.
I think it goes without saying, but anytime you deal with a situation like this, it's very difficult. But when you add in the element that this is a 5-year-old child, it makes it very, very difficult on everybody that was involved. Again, our officers, the staff at the Mall of America, the witnesses that are involved, just please continue to keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they've dealt with a very difficult situation.
Bloomington police say they've had 3 prior contacts with Aranda, 2 of which were connected to throwing things off the upper level of the mall. In another case, he assaulted a woman inside a restaurant after she refused to buy him food. Milwaukee police say 4 people were shot in the span of just over 10 hours last night. 1 person died from the gunfire. A 35-year-old man was fatally shot around 2:45 this morning on the city's north side. The other shootings happened yesterday. A 27-year-old man shot himself and a woman when his gun accidentally went off. They are both recovering from minor injuries. And a 26-year-old man told police he was shot while driving around at 7:30 last night. He also has minor injuries. An assistant police chief in the La Crosse area has announced his retirement just days after being put on leave. Onalaska Assistant Police Chief Jeffrey Cavender made the announcement yesterday. This comes just 2 days after he was placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal investigation. Now, earlier in the week, Onalaska's Fire Chief Billy Hayes was also placed on paid administrative leave following an OWI arrest. When asked if the 2 cases were related, the mayor said he wasn't able to comment without consulting with the city's legal department. More local news now. A man is facing his 2nd OWI charge after he drove into a pole outside an East Side bar. Around 9:45 last night, 42-year-old Benjamin Kalman was driving past Tangent on the 800 block of East Washington Avenue. That's the same building that houses the Sylvie Music venue. He lost control and struck a pole and a sign outside that building. Kalman tried to run away but was quickly chased down. He's also facing reckless driving and hit-and-run charges. An area hospital is expanding, hoping to better serve patients outside the big city. Columbus Community Hospital, which covers communities within about a 25-mile radius of the Columbia County city, including Beaver Dam and Sun Prairie, is planning a $15 million expansion project. That includes a new clinic building, relocating the pharmacy, a new rehab center, dining area remodels, and empty space for a potential future expansion. The hospital says having an independent health system available to those in their hometown or close to it is a big benefit.
The costs of transportation are often not factored in when receiving care, not to mention the convenience
as we deal with elderly population that have more difficulties.
The Columbus Community Hospital just finished up an expansion project within the past 5 years, not expecting to continue growing as much as they have. The final chapter for a Baraboo dairy farmer today.
Sold her 2050. We gotta go with 2050.
The book was closed for World Dairy Expo President Mike Holschenbach. The dairy herd at Heatherstone Enterprises was auctioned off to bidders from around the country. When the sale is over, more than 200 cows, calves, and yearlings will go to new homes. The family has been planning for this sale for 2 years, but Mike says that does not make it any easier.
It's going to be an empty feeling. I think I'm past the worst of it, but we have to load these animals on trailers and see them drive away today. And that will be equally, I think, emotional for us. Dairy has been our livelihood and our life, and these are almost like children to us.
Today's sale marked the end of more than 60 years of breeding cattle for Mike's family. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, a celebration for music lovers, the local businesses participating in Record Store Day.
One, two, three. How could I forget? You can sing too, John. Everybody sing!
good things must come to an end. Even Mike Lecrone's 50-year run as the director of the UW Band. Tonight is the final of 3 spring concerts at the Kohl Center. At age 82, Lecrone will retire, but he will still lead the band at commencement next month. During the second half of the show tonight, yes, Lecrone flew in on a jetpack. News 3 Now's Susan Simon sat down with Lecrone earlier this week. You can find that story on our website, channel3000.com. More than 600 students from around the state put their hard work on display today at the state competition for National History Day, similar to a science fair, but for history. Middle and high school students were judged in 5 categories: documentary, exhibit, paper, performance, and website on this year's theme, Triumph and Tragedy in History. The program is a year-long academic enrichment experience that helps students learn about historical events and figures.
This is probably one of the best days of the year if you're a history nerd. So it's really fun to see the kids excited just to come in and present their work. They have to talk to the judges. They have to do all the work themselves to get to this point. And it's really, it's just fun to see.
Today's competition was organized by the State Historical Society, and winners will represent Wisconsin at the national contest in Baltimore, Maryland this June. It's a big day for music fans across the country today. Record Store Day brought out tons of music fans to several Madison record shops for exclusive items. It's become somewhat of a holiday for music collectors, especially vinyl lovers. Independent record store owners say it's a great way to celebrate small businesses and music.
It's a celebration of the culture of independent retail and independent record stores that bring customers together.
If reading is more your thing, don't worry, there's a day for that too. Next weekend is International Bookstore Day. It may not feel like we're getting any closer to summer, but a summertime classic is back. The Dane County Farmers Market opened for business this morning for the 84th year. From the spring to the fall, 270 producers from around the state will set up on the Capitol Square. While there is an indoor event during the winter, farmers and other vendors say they're happy to see the outdoor market return.
Everything's going to get warmer, more people are going to come out. You know, there's still not as many vendors yet, but soon there's going to be the asparagus and the strawberries. And
Madison's market is the country's largest producer-only farmers market. Well, we said that right. It doesn't really feel like summer around here, Dave.
Yeah, we're trying to just get to spring at this point with some snow possibly in the forecast tomorrow. Oh boy, Mother Nature, cooperate with us. We want to get to those crops that we're so excited about during these summer months, and we will get there eventually. Temperatures will get into the 60s for portions of next week. We will have to deal with some showers, and speaking of showers, we've been dealing with showers and storms for our friends to the south across portions of Mississippi and Alabama. Some severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings out there right now as this system continues to march to the east. And actually, this is the low pressure system that will affect us tomorrow in Wisconsin and possibly bring some rain and snow showers to southern Wisconsin throughout our Sunday. We'll take a look at that possibility in just a bit. We started off with the sunshine today on the Edgewater Skycam, but the clouds really were pretty stubborn for much of the rest of this Saturday, only letting in some peaks of sun at times. Right now, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies on the Edgewater Skycam in Madison. Today's high 43, so that's still about 15 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. I think we will be lucky if we get to 40 tomorrow. I think many of us are going to be stuck in the 30s with the threat of some snow showers at times, especially for southeastern Wisconsin. Some other high temperatures, a little bit closer to 50 in Janesville, so we can be happy for our friends slightly to the south. 45 in Mineral Point and 45 in Platteville as well. Right now we're in the mid-30s generally across southern Wisconsin. A little bit closer to the freezing mark in Platteville. Wind speeds, they are better today. So we did make some improvements in the weather department out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Maybe a little bit breezy this afternoon, but nothing compared to the last couple of days. Tonight, not breezy, becoming mostly cloudy and still chilly with temperatures dipping into the lower 30s. Tomorrow, highs will only be in the upper 30s with a chance of some rain and snow showers, especially across southeastern Wisconsin. Breezy and chilly. On Future Track, we notice the chances of snow showers start to spike in the morning and early afternoon hours across southeastern Wisconsin. This is our latest model run. You can see that cutoff of snow is basically going right through Madison. Spots to the north and west, maybe just flurries. That's about it. Spots to the south and east, we could be talking about some minor accumulations as we get through Sunday. I do think the snow starts to wrap up Sunday evening. On Monday, we'll see some sunshine return, and temperatures should return into the lower 50s. So here is what I'm thinking as far as expected snowfall. Generally less than an inch of snow closer to Madison, Monroe, Watertown, and Juneau. Janesville right on the cusp of maybe 1, 2, 3 inches of accumulation. Generally, the farther or the closer you get to Milwaukee, the better chance we have of seeing some accumulating snowfall. And then some rain showers become likely for much of next week across southern Wisconsin, so hopefully we can get some breaks from that rain. Not looking very likely at this point, though. Could be a few thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday as we take a look at the 10-day forecast, and temperatures will be near 60 next week, so it will feel a little bit more like spring, but it will also look a little bit more like spring next week with basically constant chances for showers and storms. So keep that umbrella with you. You will need it for much of next week.
Constant chances.
Yes.
I don't enjoy that.
I don't either.
Thank you, though, Dave. I appreciate it. The Brewers and Dodgers battle in another late one. Highlights from LA next in sports.
Check out
Well, the Brewers and Dodgers are going to be seeing a lot of each other in the next few days. They play each other 7 times in 10 days. The Dodgers will come to Miller Park on Thursday, but for now, the two teams enjoying the sunshine at Dodger Stadium. Mike Moustakas, definitely a fan. In the second inning, a solo shot out to center field, and it's 1-0 Brewers early on. It would stay that way until the 4th inning. Orlando Arcia hitting one way out to left. That would be another solo shot. 2-0 in the 4th inning. Right now, it's 4-1 in the 7th. The weather at Camp Randall today testing even the most dedicated of Badgers fans, but no rain or snow was going to keep any of the diehards from checking out this new Badgers squad. Of course, a lot of fans wanting to get a new look at the quarterback battle, particularly the incumbent Jack Cohn against newbie Graham Mertz. But the players definitely appreciated the couple hundreds of fans that came to watch, especially as we get closer to the season.
Oh yeah, it gives everybody a little energy. Your family's here, your friends are here, so it just kind of raises the excitement level. It's nice to get some people out here. It kind of makes it feel more like a game. So yeah, it was fun.
It definitely feel good to have the people out here. You know, the fans and everything. You know, the kids running around and everything. You know, in practice we get used to just seeing the coaches on the sideline, so it's nice to have them out here.
The honors continue to pour in for the Bucks. Lots of awards between Giannis and head coach Mike Budenholzer. And today, it was for the guy in charge. Coach Bud named National Basketball Coaches Association's Coach of the Year. Now, this one is particularly important because it's voted on by all the other coaches in the NBA, so his peers. But the focus right now is on Game 1 of the playoffs tomorrow. The Bucks hosting the Pistons at 6 p.m. And even though the Bucks are the top seed, the team doesn't feel any extra stress.
I think it's a little overhyped. I mean, I don't know if we feel pressure. I think, you know, we have the right sort of focus, the right mindset. You know, we realize what we want to do, what's at stake. And, you know, I think we have the right intensity and urgency.
You know, I think we've talked a little bit about, you know, the habits that you build during the regular season, or, you know, the reason you build your habits is so you're ready for the playoffs. And so I think the group has a focus and a confidence that they've kind of earned, but now, you know, we haven't done anything. We know we've got to go and, you know, be prepared for Game 1 and be prepared for Detroit.
And things are getting very interesting at the Masters. Round 3 today at Augusta National. And a lot of eyes on a certain human with the initials TW. Check out Tiger Woods on 16, putting for birdie to tie for the lead. But he unfortunately couldn't hang on to it. But he's still in the running, don't worry. Fellow American Tony Finau also soaring up the leaderboard today. The approach on 8, that would lead to an eagle putt. He tied the Masters record on the front 9, shooting a 30. So in case you missed it, here is the final round, the 3rd round standings going into the final round. Francesco Molinari in 1st place. Finau and Woods tied for 2nd, followed by Brooks Koepka, who's not too far behind. By the way, tomorrow's coverage starts at 8 a.m. right here on WISC-TV. They're going to try to get all the rounds, all the pros in before the storms come in due to the weather. Finally, tonight, this guy, this poor guy, Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles, had a record that nobody wanted. He was 0 for 54 at the plate. That's an MLB record. That is until today. He hit a 2-run single in the 1st inning against the Red Sox. Needless to say, he was ecstatic, and his teammates were just as happy for him. That is a streak that you do not want, to be kind of like the worst guy in the league. But it's over. He's done. I'm sure he feels a huge sigh of relief. I heard he asked the umpire to keep that ball afterwards so he could have it as a souvenir of overcoming adversity, we'll call it.
Little victories.
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much. We'll be right back. All right, those snow showers, what everyone's thinking about.
Yep, spring, where are you at? Where are you at? At me on Twitter. We are talking about the possibility of some snow showers tomorrow, especially across southeastern Wisconsin. If you're heading into Milwaukee for all the playoff fun tomorrow, keep in mind flakes will be flying at times, and some accumulation mainly on grassy surfaces is possible, and some of that accumulation could make its way back farther to the north and west, closer to Madison, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Shouldn't be too many impacts, though. Temps in the 50s with some sunshine by Monday.
That's what everyone's talking about.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Dave, and thanks for joining us. Have a great night.